Hey, this is Cheryl Spangler, and I'm going to walk through the VAK process, V-A-K, and that stands for Visual, Audio, Kinesthetic. First of all, let's just dive in. You're looking at the worksheet, or you're going to be looking at the worksheet, or when you do look at the worksheet, you're going to see this information, and I'm going to walk you through it right now. So listen to what I'm saying about the VAK process. I guarantee that you will achieve your goal, whatever it is, no matter how big, monstrosity goal, big ass hairy goal you have. I don't care if there's no way in this world you can imagine getting from where you're at right now to where this goal would put you. This process will make it happen. And I say that because I have example after example after example in my life where I have gone to put a goal down on paper that's like, I have no idea how I would do that. I have no idea. It's not even how I would do it. I have no comprehension of how I could get from where I'm at to where that goal is. Prime example, I was 43 years old, had a basic 43 mom bod. It wasn't fat or anything, just not muscular and not fit. And I set a goal that I was going to be a pro bikini competitor. That means a professional bikini competitor for the International Federation of Bodybuilding. I'm laughing because when I put this goal down, it was like, what? And everyone was like, okay. Professional bikini bodybuilder after 2 kids at 43 and win Olympia. Win Olympia, okay? That means, 50,000 people all packed in to the Mr. Olympia stage in Las Vegas, where only 30 girls in the entire world get up on stage and you vie for Miss Olympia, okay? Now, if you don't know that Miss Olympia, long story, Miss Olympia, there's 3 categories. One's bikini, fitness, and figure. Okay, so I put this goal down and I used this process to make it happen. Now, I didn't get to Olympia. I didn't win Olympia, but I did go pro beyond anyone's, when you tell someone something and they're like, okay, why don't you just stick to what you're doing? The naysayers in the world are abundant, okay? And I did it in 4 years. And it was a lot of work. Now, if someone told me all the work I would have had to do to get there, I probably would have been like, nah, it's okay. But I did it, and I did it doing this exact process, just like I did it when I built many, many businesses, like when I bought 3 real estate brokerages, when I made almost $500,000 in 1 year, when I wrote my book, when I started an Amazon channel, one thing after another. If you use this properly. So let's just get into it, okay? Visual. First thing you're going to do is you're going to list your overall goal. What is it that you want to achieve? Now, maybe it's something small, but you still haven't gotten it. Maybe you just want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you just want to get finished with your college degree. Maybe you just want to get that perfect girl, get that perfect guy. There's really no perfect guy or girl, but the perfect guy or girl for you. Maybe you're just wanting to not be depressed. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you just want to be a happy, positive person, for real, not fake it like you're doing now. Maybe you just want to buy a house. Maybe you just want to get your own place and get out of your parents' place, and that's your only goal, is to get your own apartment. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, this process will work. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to list your goal. Write down what it is that you want. Now, before you start this process, it would benefit you to write down your goal in the present tense. Okay, we're going to talk about that, and I'm not going to take too long to go through this whole process, but this is probably the most valuable audio you could listen to, and so listen to it over and over and over, because this, my friends, is the path to deliberate creation. So you're going to write your goal, and I would prefer, because I'm going to make you, if you wrote it in present tense. That means if your goal is, I want to get my own apartment. I'm using small goals because it doesn't have to be a big monster goal. You're going to write it, I'm living in my new apartment. Okay, you're writing it as if it already happened. That's the first step to get to where we even started the visual audio kinesthetic part. Okay, so you have a goal written down, not you want, not you hope, not you one day have, not put a date on it. Don't put a date on it. Just say, I am this, I already have this, I am living in this, I have graduated from that, like whatever it is that you want, you already are that person. It has already happened. So just write the sentence as if it already happened, no matter how crazy that sounds when you write it down. And it would be better also, before we start, I know this is frustrating because I'm not doing it, is if your goal is not money. Because we all know that money buys the things you really want. So what is it that you really want? And just putting an amount of money isn't something that's going to be easy for you to visualize, because there's no emotion that is attached to money. Money means nothing. Money is energy. Energy is money. You can have all the money you want in the world. You can have all the money you want in the world, whether you believe that sentence or not. You can, if you believe it, but you will not believe it if the only goal is the dollar, because the dollar has no emotion. It is simply energy that we can manifest. Okay, so you have your goal written down. You know something that you really want. You have no idea how you're going to get it, and I'm going to tell you how. First thing you're going to do is visualize. How you will see your goal has manifested it. You're going to visualize. I'm going to read this, but this step is purely based on how your life will be different visually. It's like taking a picture in your life after you have achieved your goal. No feelings are attached to this step. This is just the facts. The facts are you've achieved it. You're imagining a picture that it's done. The best way to do that is to say to yourself, how will we know it is your goal achieved and not someone else's? So let me explain my visual when I said, in my not toned and fit self, completely just 28% body fat self at 43, let me tell you how I visualized myself as a pro bikini competitor. I visualized myself on stage in a blue, amazingly sparkly bikini, because I already knew that's what they wore, and the clear heels and the tanned body and the hair done and the makeup done, and I was doing my posing routine and my visual. Literally, this visual is so clear to me right now when I describe it to you, because I visualized it so many times over every single day. It just became habit. I would just boop. I would all of a sudden my mind would go to this visual, right? This is just step one. Take your goal and visualize as if it already happened. So for me, it already happening meant I was on stage receiving the award of going pro. I was receiving it. They were calling my name out. I was literally visualizing, looking out into the audience while my coach was like, holy shit, she did it. And I literally actually put those words in my mind in the visual of him in the audience wearing a blue cap. I just threw that in there because I'm it's my visual. If it's my visual, then I'm gonna make it very specific, right? So I know that it will happen if this stuff occurs because I'm making it so specific. He's wearing a blue cap. He's my coach. He's out in the audience and he's like, holy shit, she did it. And he's putting his fist up, and I'm getting the pro nomination, which comes in the form of a medal, and they call you out and you step forward and they give it to you, and you've now released from all amateur competitors, which there's tens and hundreds of thousands around the world, and you become part of the elite bikini professional. Okay, and then you move on to compete in pro. And that is the visual I had. I was doing the routine, I was on stage, I got called out, my routine was perfect, I stepped forward, I got the award, and they named me as the new pro for the night. And that was my visual. And I did it every single day. So What will you say about yourself? Okay, no. Let's go back. How will we know it is your goal achieved and not someone else's? That's the visual you need to have. So there's 1, 2, and 3 here. Number 1, for me, I was wearing a blue suit. By the way, I did go pro in a blue suit. That was the suit. It was like so amazing. I've literally posted about this. I've done podcasts about this. My pro debut, I not only won pro that night that it came true, I won 2 pro cards. They call it a card. I am the only one that has won 2 pro cards in the same night. So man, I was doing some visualizing, right? Now, that is the first thing, is that I was wearing a blue suit. That's why you have 1, 2, and 3 here, because you're visualizing how will we know if you have achieved your goal, not someone else. While I was wearing a blue suit, my coach was in the audience wearing a blue cap, and he said, "Holy shit, she did it." Now, I actually have it on video, him saying that night. So this was so surreal to me that you can manifest such detail by just continuing on with the process of visualizing yourself having actually received it, that it was like, it blew me away. So, well, let me just throw a little thing in here. One of the things that keeps people from achieving their goals is they change their mind a lot. Now, I had to visualize this every day. Honestly, it didn't happen for 3 years, but for an entire year, I visualized it every single day. A year. 365 days, I visualized this for a year. Now, all these little things were happening along the way that were moving me closer to it, so I knew I was getting closer. It wasn't like total defeat, but I believed in myself. And so this will happen to you too. It's not going to be like nothing for 2 years and then it happens. Like, you will see all these little incremental things that happen, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm getting closer. Oh my God, and it keeps you visualizing." So, second thing is, that's your visualization. There is no feeling. You're simply imagining what life is like if it already happened. Second thing is audio. What will others say about you that you have never heard said about you before? You pretend you're a fly on the wall and be specific in relation to your goal. Now, actually, I kind of went ahead, but this was the thing where I imagined my coach saying, "Holy shit, she did it." Because I was like, well, I got to come up with something in my dream, in my visualization, that someone that I admire and someone that is a mentor or someone that is around me, whether it's a family, a friend, or a coach, or someone around you, like someone in business, who is that person and what will they say, someone that you admire, when you achieve your goal? So that's really, really important. This was important because I respected him so much that when I visualized that happening and him saying that, it made me want to cry almost all the time during my visualizations, because it meant so much to me to do that, and to get to that step. So you want it to emit emotion. So basically, what will you say about yourself that you have never said about yourself before? But number 1 is, what will others say about you that you have never heard said about you? Pretend you're a fly on the wall and then be specific in relation to your goal. So imagine it already is happening. You've got the picture. You've got this movie screen playing, this visualization, and you're going to now put audio into it. So you're going to say, someone that you admire is going to say something about you when you achieve this goal, and you are going to say something about yourself that you've never said when you achieve this goal. So those are the 2 things you're going to do in this section. This is very, very important, because just wanting it is not really enough. You have to imagine that it already happened, and one of the ways to actually make that visual is to bring other people into your visualization and say, someone that I truly admire and respect is going to say what about you? And that will keep you on track, and it will also keep you in the realness of the energy of manifesting, because manifesting only happens when you truly believe it. And one way for you to truly believe it is to imagine what other people would say. And even though we say that we don't care what people think, we do. So just get past that. Third thing you're going to do to manifest this big goal of yours, is you're going to use kinesthetic ways. Feeling. What will you feel like? So remember, it has to be a feeling. What will you feel like? When have you felt this way before? So when I imagined myself up on stage doing my routine, being called out, I felt proud. I felt just even more than it, just not just excited, I felt accomplished. I felt like there was something no one could take away from me. It was something that I worked so hard for. It's among all the things I've ever done in my whole life, all the naysayers, all the family and friends and people that I told, the people that told me I was crazy, that I was stupid, that what I was doing was hurting my body, that it wasn't good, that it was a fad, that when are you going to get over this? Like all that moment that I got my goal in my visualization. The kinesthetic for me was the pride of doing it despite the obstacles, despite the naysayers. It was just a feeling of like no one can take it away from you. And you want to get that feeling. You want to write down, what will you feel like? It has to be a feeling. So, and then you say to yourself, maybe you're having a hard time coming up with the feeling that you're going to have when you get this goal, right? So you can say to yourself, when have you felt this way before? What is the feeling you're going to have when you achieve it? And when have you ever felt this way before? This will help you get that feeling. So maybe, all right, so recall and then close your eyes and return to that time. If you've never felt that way before, which is totally possible, then imagine what it would feel like. And here's my suggestion on that. I will tell you right now, I have a goal of being on Dancing with the Stars. I don't care how old I am. I don't care about anything except I'm gonna get there, okay? And one of the things, since I don't know, like if I have a feeling that I've had before, if it might be similar to me getting my pro card, my multi-pro card win that night, but it will be something different. So let's just say you can't imagine that feeling because you've never felt it before. Then find someone that you totally and completely admire, and if there's a video of some kind of how they felt, of how excited they were and how they were crying, you could imagine that. I'm just saying, like, you can find a visual of a feeling. Second question, when you're trying to imagine the feeling that you'll have when you achieve it, is where in your body can you feel that feeling? Well, I felt the feeling always in my chest. It's just something like it swelled up in me like this. I always wanted to cry whenever I truly, truly visualized it. This is when I knew I was manifesting, because I had this overwhelming emotion in my chest, which was like my heart area. You want to identify that so that when you know that when you're getting into manifesting this manifesting feeling, you want to identify what is the feeling you're going to have when you achieve it. When have you ever felt like that before? Where in your body can you feel the feeling? For me, it was my chest. What color would that feeling state be? For me, it was just, I don't know, I guess I didn't put a color to it, but it was pink red. I could identify it as pink red heart. What shape would that feeling state be? This is there's a purpose for all this. What temperature would that feeling state be? I don't know that I ever put a temperature to it, but I would say warm, hot. What texture would that feeling state have? Now, those are like really hard questions to answer because you're like, I don't even understand what you're saying. What color, what shape, what temperature, what texture? But just pick one and identify it. Because what happens is, let's just say for me, I imagined the feeling of pride. When have I ever felt like that way before? Well, when I graduated college. Because again, that's something no one could take away from me. And where have I felt it in my body? My heart made me want to cry. What color would it feel? Red, pink. What shape would it feel? Round like a heart, with the shape of a heart. What temperature would it feel? I would just say warm. 75 degrees. What texture would that feel? Silky. So you gotta just name and identify that. Just do it. Then you're gonna write your belief statement. And your belief statement is, you're gonna state that you are in the moment achieving your goal. Example, I am enjoying what? As if you're already enjoying it. Short, concise statement, first person, positive affirmation, present tense. I am a pro bikini competitor wearing a blue suit, and I am so proud of myself. That's like my statement. That was my statement. It was kind of long. And here's how you can tell if your statement is going to actually be real and manifest. Okay? This is the check to make sure the statement is real, meaning really going to manifest. Is there any reason that this goal would cause any repercussions or adverse reactions for you? Okay? For you. And I would add, since doing this many times in my life, I would add, is there any reason that this goal would cause any repercussions or adverse reactions to anyone else? Was there anything related to your belief statement that hurts another person? And if so, start over and rewrite it. So it's like a balancing exercise. It has your conscious mind speak to your subconscious. It's going to make you feel in control and help you manifest. I guarantee anyone does this process. And don't change your mind every 24 hours, okay? Just decide to stick with it for at least, in my opinion, now I have manifested some really amazing things in a very short period of time. And I would say 90 days would be at least the length that you have got to do you have to do this for 90 days, but you can manifest amazing things in 90 days. I did. I changed my entire life around in 60 days from complete financial destruction to being completely debt-free in 60 days. And I really was giving myself 90 days. I really, really hope that you guys take this VAC process, print this worksheet out and do it, and listen to what I just went through and do it, because it will change your life. I guarantee it will change your life.